Of course, when we take the kindnesses of others for granted and fail to express that gratitude, we may lose what little kindness might have been extended our way. The expression of gratitude, a simple thank you, or even a gift of some sort, is so easy. Anyone can say thank you in order to express that gratitude. That expression is not limited to a particular race, creed, color, gender, or what have you. We can all say thank you in our own way. We just have to remember to do it. And in doing so, our lives become enriched. This may not happen overnight, but over time, with practice, just changing the way you express gratitude can change your life. Dr. Bissell goes on to say that we should not look for things in small proportions, but rather that we should have large expectations in abundance, whether we're working for health, harmony, or abundance. He says, if it is health, expect radiant, vital, dynamic health, and be grateful for it. In harmony, expect a complete universal harmony, which is commensurate with a well-lived life. And expect that harmony to be vital enough so that its radiation may permeate your entire atmosphere, until those who come in contact with you may feel the pleasure of your presence and be helped by having crossed your pathway. We've all known people who fit this category. Their radiation of harmony is so vital that they permeate the atmosphere of a room, such that when we come into contact with them, we feel the pleasure of their presence, and we're helped by their having crossed our pathway. Sometimes that can be confused with feelings of lust, which is a bit different. But for those who truly exude harmony, we are always eager to see them and spend time with them. We feel better after having been with them as a result of their expression of harmony. Dr. Sheila Reneur was a perfect example of this. When she entered a room, the vibration of the room changed and became warmer, just by her presence and emanation of harmony. Dr. Bissell often states that it is our duty to be the best we can be, and the expression of gratitude and harmony are easy ways to get on that path. Again, practice makes perfect. Now we come to the real heart of the matter. The very last sentence I quoted from Dr. Bissell above said, "Let your consciousness of needs continually expand." This sentence stopped me in my tracks, and we spent most of the last advanced class last week discussing this particular sentence. When I first read that sentence, my mind jumped immediately to my loft, which is a giant storage closet full of stuff. Some of that stuff came from my childhood. My parents, stuff I found somewhere, things I bought thinking they would make me whole and complete. And there are lots of unfinished projects, things I thought I needed when I got home, but when I got home, I simply never took them out of the box or used for more than a short time. So as I read that passage, I thought to myself, why would Dr. Bissell suggest that we should let our consciousness of junk collecting continue to expand? After all, it's easy to collect stuff, but letting go and emptying out is difficult and sometimes nearly impossible. Of course, after giving it more thought, it becomes clear that there's a big difference between needs and wants. When we walk through a store and see all the wonderful things available to us, we want this and that. Each of us, depending on our own individual interests, can probably make a list of all the things we want. Our needs, however, are a different matter. In class this past week, I mentioned that I've been looking at GPS receivers recently, thinking I needed one, when in fact the truth is that we've managed for a long time without such machines. It's true that I'd like to have one because it would be fun to have and to learn to use. And I might learn something about the technology, how it works, how reliable it is, and so on. But I'm not planning a long trip by car anytime soon, so I really don't need one. Someone was quick to point out that now that gas prices have risen so sharply, most of us have reduced our driving to only driving when necessary, as opposed to driving for pleasure, which would also quickly limit my use of such a device. The recent increase in the cost of gasoline also gives us a chance to study the difference between what we need and what we want. There are certain items we need to survive. We need shelter, clothing, food, medicine, maintenance such as visits to the doctor and dentist. Those of us who work need to be able to get to work one way or another and to do whatever it takes to keep our job or maintain our income so we can pay our bills. In class, Dr. Lyle pointed out that our needs are those things we need to survive. On the other hand, I have a long list of wants. I want a larger TV. I suppose if I even got a TV with a 10-foot screen, I'd probably want a larger one. I'm always thinking I want a new computer or new peripherals to add to it. Or how about a different car to drive each day of the week? Or a bigger house with a pool and a spa? I'm sure you have your list of wants as well. It's interesting to note that neither of my lists of needs and wants contained the need for or want for love, joy, happiness, health, harmony, or godliness. I see that as a flaw in my thinking, and I know I can prioritize my lists to include those attributes. If you find yourself falling into that same trap, you might want to reprioritize your lists of wants and needs. As I said before, needs are what you must have to survive. Wants are things you can do without. I think the attributes love, joy, happiness, and health fall into the category of needs. Each one of us needs to be loved and to love others. Each one of us needs joy to enrich our lives in some way. Each of us needs happiness for our mental health and life fulfillment, as well as radiant, vital, dynamic health. We each need harmony so that we can live peacefully with each other. And with this understanding comes wisdom. So this morning, I'm suggesting that you take a look at your your lists of needs and wants, to see if you are able to recognize the difference between the two lists. You might make a list of everything you think you want, and then go through that list and determine whether it's a need or a want. That simple delineation might just help you get a better understanding of what you want in your life and what you have no room for in your life. There have been times in my life when I had to say to myself, there is no room in my life for blank. And with that proclamation, I eliminate the negative from my life. You can do the same by filling in the blank and whatever it is that you need to eliminate. It might be that there is no room in my life for 4-letter words, or there is no room in my life for hate, envy, or jealousy. Remember also that Dr. Bissell makes it very clear that when we eliminate something from our mentality, we need to replace that which we eliminate with something positive. So if we eliminate 4-letter words, we should replace those words with kinder, gentler expressions. If we eliminate hate, envy, or jealousy, we need to replace those words with expressions of love and gratitude. As usual, I want to remind you to pray and meditate daily, and maybe sometime this week, make a list for yourself of your needs and wants, and see how easy it is for you to tell the difference. The key is to put God first and keep yourself self-centered as best you can. One important part of keeping yourself centered is to have a clear understanding of the difference between your needs and your wants. No matter how difficult it may seem at the time, just remember, as we've heard so many times before, that with God all things are possible. As we heard in this morning's scripture, if we just get wisdom and understanding, all else will be added unto us. Now there's one extra little catch that I didn't write, but I need to say that if you approach God and ask for wisdom and understanding with the ulterior motive that you want riches and long life, it won't happen. You have to approach God and make your request with a pure heart. Otherwise, it won't work. So that's your lesson on abundance this morning. And thank you